Everything is on the line when Georgia takes on my Alabama Crimson Tide. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Kangaroo Black coming back once again. You know what I'm talking about. The game of the week. My Alabama Crimson Tide goes on the road to take on those Georgia Bulldogs. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Between the hedges. Sanford Stadium. Athens, Georgia, baby. And I am so ready. This is a big test for my Alabama Crimson Tide. But anyway, I love this website, dawnofthedog.com. It gave me a lot of stuff to talk about. And guess what the title of this article is? Why Georgia versus Alabama will define the Bulldogs season. Will this one game really define Georgia's season? I don't think so. Alabama beat them last year. It didn't define their season. Shit. Damn, Georgia went on to win the SEC and didn't go to the playoff. My Alabama Crimson Tide didn't do none of that. So that one loss didn't define Georgia's season. Hell, they even lost to Ole Miss. That didn't define the season. So I don't think this one game will, but it's fun to talk about, okay? So shout out to dawnofthedog.com. So, the rivalry that defines two eras. They broke this down. Georgia struggles against Alabama is no secret since 2008. Listen to this, you Georgia Bulldog fans. Since 2008, the Tide have won 9 of the last 10 matchups, including multiple heartbreaking SEC championship losses in 2012, 2018, and in 2023 that cost the Bulldogs shots at national titles. All right? They forgot. Well, 2021, they won the national championship. So that didn't cost them a shot at the national title because they won it. But even in the playoff era, Alabama has loomed. Yes, Georgia's 2021 national championship run finally broke the spell after a 33-18 victory over Nick Saban in Indianapolis, but that felt like an exception to the rule. And in the 2021 SEC title game just a month earlier, Alabama exposed Georgia's top-ranked defense in a 41-24 rout. Damn right. It's been the same script for years. Georgia can beat anyone, but when Alabama lines up across from them, the Bulldogs have to prove they belong. You damn right. And you damn right that 2021 national championship game was an outlier. We all know why. Just like you Georgia fans know why. You just don't want to admit it. But you know why. Got the victory in that game. And it wasn't because you was a better team. It wasn't. But anyway, why this game matters so much to these Georgia Bulldogs and why some people think it will define their season. Kirby Smart has recruited at a historic level by building an NFL pipeline through Athens. He has done that. He's proven Georgia isn't just a one-year wonder, but the perception hasn't fully shifted. Georgia is seen as a perennial contender, not a favorite. True. That's what's at stake Saturday. A win over Alabama would do 3 things almost immediately for the Georgia Bulldogs. First, it will exercise the ghost by ending the narrative that Alabama has Georgia's number. Second, it will flip the SEC hierarchy for good by establishing Georgia, not Alabama, as the league's true power. And finally, it will set the national tone as a victory in Athens would vault UGA to team-to-beat status in the playoff conversation. Now, I got something to say about that. So a win would vault them into team-to-beat status, in the playoff conversation. Why? After everybody already wrote Alabama off after they lost to Florida State. So if you already wrote a team off, why would a win over that team vault them or take them to daggone team to beat status? Why is it a number 5 team beating the number 17th ranked team vault the number 5 team, the team to beat? I would think, this is just my thinking, the fifth best team in the country should beat the 17th best team in the country. That's just my opinion. But guess what? This is Alabama. It ain't your ordinary 17th ranked team in the nation. Now, if Alabama goes into Athens, Sanford Stadium, between the hedges, somewhere Georgia ain't lost in the last 33 times they played there, and Alabama go in there and beat them, then what? What would it do for Alabama? And what will a loss do for Georgia? The article didn't talk about what if Georgia lose? What would it do for them? They didn't talk about that and what would it do for Alabama. It's just business as usual for Alabama if they go in there and win. They done did it too many times. Just saying. But anyway, let's keep it moving. For context, listen to this, you Georgia fans. For context, the last time Alabama lost in Athens was 2004. A 27-10 win under Mark Richt. That was 3 years before Nick Saban even arrived in Tuscaloosa. So you mean to tell me the last time my Alabama Crimson Tide lost in freaking Athens was 21 years ago? Say it ain't so. Anyway, think about that. The entire era of the SEC football has come and gone since Alabama last walked out of Sanford Stadium with a loss. Think about that, Georgia Bulldog fans. But that's in the past, though. That ain't got shit to do with what's going to happen Saturday. Nothing. Anyway, Georgia fans know the heartbreak all too well. The 2012 SEC Championship remains one of the most agonizing games in program history, with the Dogs driving in the final seconds. Chris Conley's catch fell short of the end zone, sealing a 32-28 win for my Alabama Crimson Tide. The Crimson Tide went on to win the national title, and Georgia was left wondering, what if? 2018 was deja vu. Jalen Hurts came off the bench to rally Alabama past Georgia in the SEC title game. The same Georgia team that had been burned by Tua Tagovailoa heroics in the previous season's national championship. That's why Saturday feels different. Georgia has the roster, the quarterback, and the home field advantage. The excuses are gone. You hear that? You hear that? Georgia got the roster, the quarterback, and the home field advantage. So the excuses are gone. So Alabama come down there or come into Sanford Stadium and break that 33-game home win streak. I don't want to hear no excuses. None. You hear that, Georgia fans? Nothing but the refs. You in your own house. A place where you done won 33 straight. Ain't no excuses no more. You got your quarterback. You got your defense, although your secondary is a little iffy. You know what I'm saying? You got your front seven. You got your run game. So ain't no more excuses. You done ran out. I don't want to hear, like, hey, if we'd have been playing in Athens, you had that excuse last season. Well, you're in Athens this season. Excuses done ran out. But anyway, if Georgia wins this weekend, it won't just be another regular season victory. It will be a line in the sand, a statement that the Bulldogs aren't merely in the conversation. They are the conversation. Okay. So a win against the 17th team in the country, the 17th ranked team in the country, will make y'all the conversation. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Come on now. Anyway, Alabama is still Alabama. The Crimson Tide's roster is loaded with 5 stars. Their offense has bounced back from an embarrassing week 1 performance, but the perception around the program has shifted slightly post-Saban, and Georgia has a chance to seize the opening once and for all. Well, the narrative about the team shifted once Saban retired. That's why everybody was throwing a damn block party, thinking just because Saban was gone, Alabama was just going to simply go away. Everybody was just going to start beating Alabama. But guess what? Georgia came into Tuscaloosa last season and found out that wasn't going to be the case. That's just the way it was. But anyway, you got your chance this year again to beat them. This time in your own home. And this time, Alabama ain't even ranked in the top 15. So you got your chance. You got your chance. But anyway. Oh man, a win in Athens would mean Georgia controls its own destiny. Not just in the SEC, but in the college football playoff race. It was silence any doubt people may have about them. It will rewrite narrative. And it will confirm what Smart has been building towards since day one he took the job, Georgia, as the standard, no longer the challenger. You mean to tell me your second win out of 11 games established you as the standard? Georgia going 2-9 in the last 11 head-to-head meetings established them as the standard? I don't understand. I don't understand. You mean to tell me a win in your home stadium over the 17th ranked team in the nation established you as the standard? Man, get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, this is a damn Georgia way of sight. With this crazy narrative they putting together. Come on, man. And no other team has ever been afforded that freaking privilege to be 2-9 against one team and they the standard. To be the 5th ranked team and beat the 17th ranked team. What other team was afforded that opportunity? And after they beat that 17th ranked team, they are now the standard in college football. Any other team? Come on, man. Georgia fans want their Georgia Bulldogs to be the standard of college football so bad. They want to take that from Alabama so bad. I know Alabama haven't won a national championship since 2020. I know that. I know that. And they lost 4 games last season. I know that. But damn, Georgia. Damn, Georgia, man. You won 2 national championships. You won back-to-back. 2023 was your last. Or 2022, okay? Almost 3 seasons ago. That's in the past, man. All that Alabama done is in the past. All that Georgia's done in the past. Won't none of that matter on Saturday. But to say, if Georgia beat Alabama, they are the standard. Oh, shit, no. Make it make sense. Just by this one game, they the standard. Come on, man. Anyway, keep it moving. Saturday night in Athens isn't just about one game. It's about a decade of storylines, frustrations, and missed opportunity converging in a single moment. If Georgia wins, they won't just be national contenders. They'll be the favorite. And that's the kind of statement that defines the season. So if they beat Alabama, they won't just be contenders. They'll be the favorite to win the national championship. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. They'll beat a team that nobody outside of the Alabama fan base picked to win. That's what they'll beat. A team that nobody picked to win. Except for Alabama fans. And some of them ain't even picking Alabama to win. But you will be the standard if you beat the team that nobody picked to beat you. You the number 5 team. And if you beat the number 17th ranked team in the nation, you'll be the standard. You will be the favorite to win the national championship. Come on now. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Georgia beat a team that everybody wrote off in week 1. They'll be the standard. They'll be the national title favorites. Get out of here. None of this making sense to me. None of it. I'm sure it make all the sense in the world to you Georgia fans. But hey, it is what it is, man. My Alabama Crimson Tide gonna roll in the Sanford Stadium, handle their business, and walk out with a dub. And Georgia will be 33-1 in their last 34 home games. Alabama will end that home game win streak, just like we ended everything else for those Georgia Bulldogs when it comes to football. That's what's going to happen. And I have full confidence that I am right. Sure is. And you Georgia fans, you're going to be left wondering, why can't we beat them? We was at home. We won 33 straight. We beat everybody else. Why can't we beat Alabama at home or on the road? That's what you're going to be left. That's the question you're going to be trying to answer. Why? Why? But all I can tell you is to be blessed. And remember, KB don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. And roll damn Tide.